Good morning and welcome. My name is Jean Nemitz, and I'm the Director of Religious Education here at the Unitarian Society of Ridgewood. As always, a big thank you to the entire team that helps us bring us Sunday services each week. For over a century, this society has been gathering in community as a home for liberal faith and free thinking. For the last year, USR has been meeting online just like this. And still, this community we build, for the moment virtually, offers the world a place where each person, whatever their gender, sexual orientation, age, education, history, race, ethnicity, economic status, physical or mental health, theology, or body, is embraced with love. Here we believe in the interdependence of humanity, in the power of love, and in the holy spark in each person. If this is your first time visiting, we are so glad you found us this morning. If you'd like to learn more about us and get connected to our weekly emails, please fill out the Google form dropped into the chat or visit our website. You can also email our congregational administrator, Ann Peretti, at usr.membership1@gmail.com. Ann can also help those of you who have been coming for a while and are interested in membership. Two different things are happening this morning. Directly after service, we are having a town hall during which the board will present the budget and open the floor to questions in advance of next week's annual meeting. The town hall will be in this Zoom that we are in right now. Then, over in another Zoom room, starting at 11:30, please join us for the first week of Draw the Circle Wider Music and Book Festival. Each week for the first 3 weeks of June, this festival will celebrate our UU principle, featuring a different children's story about special needs, Asian awareness, and Black history during the Jim Crow era. USR member Tony Trishka will surround our featured story with the sounds of the banjo. And by the end of the festival, we will all be singing and or whistling, Draw the Circle Wide. All ages are welcome, and come and join us for a blast of love and fellowship. One last heads up, the annual meeting will be after a shorter service on June 13th. We will be virtual again this year. Please plan on attending to participate in the important work of congregational business. And we are so glad you are with us this morning.
Now take a deep breath and listen. We come from so many different backgrounds. We exist in so many different spaces in this moment right now. We bring so many different identities. We come with different hopes and fears and needs and beliefs. And yet we are all here together, sharing in a commitment to community, sharing in a desire to think and reflect and make meaning of these lives we have, sharing in a determination to become our truest selves and to change the world. We come with belief in the possible. We come with hope for the future. We come to see and to be seen. We come with love for each other. Breathe into this shared space of depth and care. Breathe and listen.
Please join us in the words for lighting the chalice. They can be found on your screen. We light this chalice for the light of truth, the warmth of love, and the energy of action as we gather together in the circle of community.
June has come, and with it the world brightens. Warmth and sunshine mark the days with powerful and stunning breaks by thunderstorms that lighten the sky and shake the earth. There's a power and a promise in this month. Flowers continue to bloom. Life is being made all around us. Leaves and grass green the earth, and laughter and play beckon us, even as strange as the world has been this last year and a half.
The blossoms of spring are giving way to the green leaves of summer. Restaurants, pools, sporting events are all opening, and we are all beginning to reemerge, just as the earth reemerges every year. Today we celebrate the flowers, not in their ephemerality, but in the reliability of their return. Through millennia, through wars and through peace, through pandemics and through health, flowers blossom every year with steadfast certainty.
And today we celebrate new members, folks who are committing to our community. And we celebrate pride, the vast diversity of our human family. And we celebrate flowers, their strength and beauty.
May we all show up to each other like the steadfast flowers that blossom every year without fail. May our community be steadfast in our values and our embrace of diversity and beauty. And may many more find a home with us in the years to come.
Please join us in singing our hymn, number 65, The Sweet June Days. The sweet June days are come again, once more the glad earth yields its golden wealth of ripening grain and breath of clover fields, and deepening shade of summer woods and glow of summer air, and bringing thoughts and happy moods of love and joy and prayer. The sweet June days are come again, the birds are on the wing, bright anthems in their merry strain, unconsciously they sing. Oh, how our cup brims with good these happy summer days, for all the joys of field and wood, we lift our song of praise.
This morning, we have a very special guest with us, but I want to give you a little background before I introduce her. So in 2015, Michelle T. and Radar Productions, under the leadership of Julie Delgado Lopera and Virgie Tovar, created something called Drag Queen Story Hour. Drag Queen Story Hour began in San Francisco and was exactly as it sounds: drag queens reading stories to children in libraries. DQSH has since grown, and as their website says, DQSH, quote, now offers literary and creative programming for kids and teens of all ages, led by drag queens, kings, and creatures all over the world. DQSH is a global network of local organizations, each of which is independently managed and funded. So although we aren't working specifically with DQSH today, I do encourage you to check out their website, find a local group, you can attend an event, or you can donate to help their efforts. But this morning, we are grateful to have with us Corma Kelly. Corma was at Ridgewood's Pride event yesterday that I know some of you attended and enjoyed. And today, Corma is going to read for us, in the spirit of DQSH, our story, which is all about embracing the possibility and beauty and glamour of who you are. So we're going to have slides up, and then you'll be able to see Corma as well. So thank you, Corma, for being with us. Everyone else, please, you can give your thanks this way. I know you're muted, but you can welcome Corma into our space this morning, and we'll get the technology going right now.
Thank you, Sarah. Julian is a Mermaid by Jessica Love. This is a boy named Julian, and this is his abuela, and those are some mermaids. Julian loves mermaids. Vámonos, mijo. This is our stop. Abuela, did you see the mermaids? I saw them, mijo. Abuela, I am also a mermaid. I'm going to take a bath. You be good. Julian has a good idea. Oh. Uh-oh. Come here, mijo. For me, abuela? For you, Julian. Where are we going? You'll see, says abuela. Mermaids, whispers Julian. Like you, mijo, let's join them. And they do. The end. Woo!
Thank you, Corma.
Of course, thank you. Hope you all enjoyed that.
Yes, it's a wonderful. A couple of weeks ago, Eric Carle died. Eric Carle wrote many children's books, beloved books. I'm sure that some of you have read them, possibly all of you. One of the most popular, though to be honest, not one of my personal favorites, is The Very Hungry Caterpillar. In it, a little caterpillar is born on a leaf, and he proceeds to eat his way through a whole host of healthy and delicious insect and human foods. And he gets a stomach ache. He goes to sleep, he cocoons, and eventually he wakes up as a beautiful butterfly. Shortly after Carle's death, a quote started circulating on social media. You may have seen this. It purported to be from Eric Carle in an interview, and it read, "My publisher and I fought bitterly over the stomachache scene in The Very Hungry Caterpillar. The caterpillar, you'll recall, feasts on cake, ice cream, salami pie, cheese, sausage, and so on. After this banquet, I intended for him to proceed immediately to his metamorphosis, but my publisher insisted that he suffer an episode of nausea first, that some punishment follow his supposed overeating. This disgusted me. It ran entirely contrary to the message of the book. The caterpillar is, after all, very hungry, as sometimes we all are. He has recognized an immense appetite within him and has indulged it, and the experience transforms him, betters him. Including the punitive stomachache ruined the effect. It compromised the book. As it happened, that passage is from a satirical April Fool's online issue of the Paris Review. It was misrepresented as a real interview some years ago and then made its way into this meme that circulated after Eric Carle's death, but he never said such a thing. And yet this post gained so much traction, in part, I think, because there is a deep and resonant truth. The caterpillar was meant to transform and needed the fuel to do it. There was nothing wrong or bad in his eating. It wasn't overeating. So often we are taught, socialized, to second guess our deep needs, our recognition of ourselves. But when meeting those deep needs leads us to something better, when we take steps toward our deepest selves, steps that hurt no one and only make us more us, we're doing nothing wrong, in spite of what the world around us might say. This is Pride Month. It's a time for us to celebrate those in the LGBTQ community for the glorious, perfect, beautiful beings that they are. I love this book, Julian is a Mermaid. We have it here in our apartment. I love it because there's that moment when you think maybe Julian's abuela will be angry because he took down the curtain to use as his mermaid tail, or because he put on her makeup, or because he's defying social norms and expectations, just like the little caterpillar who ate ice cream and cake and pie. And instead, Julian's abuela finds him jewelry to complete his look, and then she takes him out to find his people, the fabulous mermaids of the Coney Island Mermaid Parade. That is a real annual event. Julian's abuela doesn't just tolerate his interest. She doesn't ignore it or put up with it. She loves her grandbaby for exactly who he is in the moment of this story. A boy who loves mermaids. That's what we're told on that first page. Julian's a boy who loves mermaids. And abuela isn't worried about what that means or who Julian will become. She meets Julian where he is right now and loves him with the magic of fierce acceptance. Loves him because he's a child of the universe and inherently beautiful. Loves him because he is him, because he loves mermaids, and because he has a whole life ahead that might bring any number of identities as he becomes more himself each day. And we're left, I think, assured that Julian's abuela will love Julian each and every day, whatever Julian wears and whoever Julian becomes. And each of us needs that kind of fierce love, the magic and redemption of supportive embrace, not resigned acceptance. Each of us needs someone who will hand us a piece of the puzzle that is us. And each of us needs to recognize that we can be that for someone else. We can turn another's frightened, am I loved? Did I do something wrong? Face into a smile of joyful wholeness. Being seen for who we are, loved for who we are, is life-giving and life-changing. And it is one of the things we commit to here in this community together. This community that affirms the right to life and joy and self-expression for all people. Our fierce love is one of the things that makes this community so special.
Ours is a community that commits to embracing others with love. Ours is a community that commits to loving across difference and distance. Ours is a community that seeks as individuals to better our own lives and as a collective to better the world. It is always a special kind of joy to participate in a new member ceremony. This is when we welcome with love and care those who have joined our community in the last months. This morning, we welcome Cecilia Beestrom, Adina Blumenfeld, Matthew Burgess, Lily Marie Heckard, Kate Ireland, Elizabeth Kennedy, Margaret Summer, and Dan Summer.
Today, we welcome new members into our community. To our new members, you have chosen to make your commitment to this congregation official by signing the book and covenanting to live and be here with us in a spirit of love and openness, growing your mind and spirit, joining in our collective work for justice and love, transforming yourself and the world, and being a beacon in this world so in need of your wholeness and your light. Membership in this congregation will offer joys and sorrows, struggles and moments of triumph, and always companionship and friendship along this life's journey.
It has been a privilege to facilitate your journey toward membership. We are so glad that you have found here a spiritual home. Each of you brings unique gifts that will enhance all our lives.
We will do all in our power to help you continue to find your place amongst us, to find fulfillment through your participation in this community.
Hi, I'm going to read the part of the congregation. I'm Dawn Walter, the president of the Board of Trustees, but everyone at home, feel free to read along with me. We will offer you support, kindness, challenge, and friendship throughout the years to come. We will listen to you, help you celebrate your joys, lighten your sorrows, reflect and grow with you, work alongside you, and be here when you need us. We welcome you with open arms into our society of caring and service.
Now, give us a second because we're going to spotlight the new members and let them unmute. Muted me by accident. So we're going to unmute you new members. You should get a little invitation to unmute. Did everyone get that?
Yeah.
Okay. And then this is for you all to read.
We commit to bring our whole selves to this community. We will share our thoughts and our visions for this congregation and for the world. We will listen to you and we work with you. We will share our talents and our gifts with you. We commit to growing in our own lives, lighting the way for justice and love, and transforming the world.
That was perfect chaos, thank you. The welcoming of new members is a sacred and joyous act carrying with it commitments, responsibilities, and blessings beyond measure. It offers the opportunity for us all to reaffirm our commitment. We invite you now, again, in the quiet of your space, I will keep you muted, to join us in reciting our proposed new congregational covenant, the glue that binds us together. Our new covenant will be voted on next week, so please follow along on your screen.
Led by our shared Unitarian Universalist values, committed to the search for truth, meaning, and justice, and determined to create a community of trust, warmth, and joy, together with love we covenant. To support this congregation with our presence, gifts, and service, and to care for each other in the long-term well-being of our community.
To listen deeply to one another in a spirit of openness, acceptance, and trust.
To speak and act with forethought, honesty, and compassion, considering not only the intent, but also the impact of our words and behaviors.
To speak directly, whenever safe, to those with whom we have disagreements, and to encourage others to do the same. seeking assistance from leadership as needed.
To include all people with gratitude for the differences among us, celebrating the richness of varied perspectives.
To attend intentionally to dynamics of oppression and prejudice in our interactions with each other and in our congregational system.
To participate in congregational votes and decisions, engaging in thoughtful dissent and respecting our democratic processes.
To ask for and to extend forgiveness to each other if we break these promises.
This covenant is a living document to which we can refer in our interactions with each other, reminding ourselves of our shared promises. It invites ongoing learning and courageous acts of love and reconciliation.
Please join me in welcoming our new members. You can give them a little this and a little applaud. Some of them were not able to be with us online this morning, but we welcome them as well. It is so wonderful to have you all with us. You're muted. Oh.
Can you hear me now? Awesome. Hi, everybody. My name is Chris Dunnigan, and I'm a member of the Board of Trustees and your friendly treasurer. Part of the laying the groundwork for the future of our congregation is making our weekly offering that helps sustain the work of this community. We know that we benefit from those who have gone before us, generations of folks just like us who believed in community, in justice, and transformation, and in the healing power of love. They gave so that we might today belong to and build this supportive and sustaining community. Generations after us will still need to fight for liberation and equality for all. They will still need to provide their children with experiences that help them grow into themselves, and they will still need a place to go to be reminded of their highest aspirations and affirmed in their wholeness. Our giving now ensures the future of this congregation for years to come. This community exists because of you, and it will survive because of you. Your passion, your time, your talents, and also your donations. Whatever you are able to give, we are thankful for your generosity. The offering will now be given and gratefully received.
Every Sunday that we come together, even as we rejoice and listen to joyful music, we then take time to be quiet and contemplative, prayerful and reflective. I invite you into that time now. So take a deep breath. Can settle your body into your space as comfortably as you can. Focus on a spot in front of you or on the image of these flowers from the last flower ceremony we spent in person together, or close your eyes if that feels comfortable and safe to do. And then breathe deeply and slowly, in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Feel your body fill with air. Relax your muscles, unclench your jaw, let yourself sink into this time. Calmly, peacefully, with deep and slow breaths. This morning, even as we recognize the griefs and the hurts, the challenges and fears that life brings, even as we recognize those this morning, we come with joy and gratitude. We give thanks for the beauty of these sweet June days. The flowers, the birds, the thunder and lightning, the sunshine, for the creatures that bustle about themselves in the business of creation. for the colors and glory that burst from the world in this season of growth. We give thanks for the care of gentle and loving friends, the family, fellow congregants, companions, teachers, and mentors, for those who love us as we are, who care for us in our need and who let us care for them, for the communities that support and sustain our whole living. We give thanks for the privilege and opportunity to know ourselves, the deep voice inside us that speaks the truth of who we are, for the chance to listen in the stillness to our deepest longings, for the space to become, with love and support, what that voice calls us to. We give thanks for the diversity of our world and our human family, the wide array of beings swim and crawl and fly and move upon this earth. For humans of every color and creed, of every gender expression and sexuality, for the fabulous, glorious, beautiful wonders of creation that each of us is. We give thanks for the colors that abound in nature and in us, the firework bursts of originality and perfection. As we breathe in the quiet together, we offer each our own thanks in our own ways. May we remember each and every day that it is within our power to cultivate not only gratitude for the beauty, love, privilege, and diversity of this world, but it is within our power to be part of what makes this world safe for all kinds of beauty. We can be part of the creation of diversity. We can be part of making this world more just and more equitable. We can be part of offering a wide and encompassing love to all. With each breath, may we remember our power and the call to live our lives honestly and well. So may it be. I recently had a conversation that reminded me of the challenge in our words of welcome and in our first principle. What does it mean to truly welcome? To extend the broad and all-encompassing welcome we speak of every Sunday. And it's a nuanced kind of thing, honestly. Our commitments as declared in the welcome we issue every Sunday morning and in our first principle, which affirms the inherent worth and dignity of every person, do not mean uncritical acceptance of all behaviors or all beliefs. Behaviors that harm others, beliefs that deny wholeness to others, these we reject. These we do not embrace. The misapprehension too often made both from within and without Unitarian Universalism is that anything goes. It doesn't. Denying the fullness and wholeness of LGBTQIA folks is not okay. Denying the fullness and wholeness of Black, Indigenous, Brown, Asian, Latin folks is not okay. Denying the fullness and wholeness of any of our human family is not okay. This month and every day, we celebrate the beauty of our diverse, beloved community. That first principle is all about celebrating the fullness and wholeness of each being, and without reservation or judgment, supporting them as they become themselves. It's about being part of the fuel that helps a being become whole, not being part of the punishment they get from a world that doesn't believe in them or doesn't understand them, or that thinks there's some price to pay for being yourself. It isn't always easy or obvious, and we each take our own journeys to fully embracing the wide range of diverse humanity, but that is the goal. A circle as wide as this earth, encompassing all and harming none. This community, imperfect though it is, as all communities are, declares those welcome words as a reminder to us all of our highest aspirations of love, acceptance, and embrace. It's a reminder every Sunday morning that here we can be ourselves, and here we do the work of making space for others to be themselves. And the flower celebration is a reminder of this as well. Originally called the Flower Communion, this ritual began on June 4th, 1923, in what was then Czechoslovakia. It was created by Norbert Čapek, the founder of the Unitarian Church in Czechoslovakia. His community wasn't entirely comfortable with the bread and wine communion of the Catholic faith. Many had left Catholicism to join a church that more closely aligned with their beliefs and values. But Čapek wanted a ritual that they could participate in, something sacred that his people could do that would bind them together and reinforce their community. Čapek often found inspiration in the world around him, and the Flower Communion was no exception. In it, the people brought beautiful blooms and branches and twigs into the church to create a unique and diverse bouquet. Then, after Čapek had preached about diversity in community, each person took home a piece of the bouquet different from the piece they had brought. The ritual made its way here with Norbert's wife Maya when she came to visit Cambridge, Massachusetts on the eve of World War II. She ended up here, stranded during the war, and he was killed in a concentration camp because his beliefs were considered too dangerous. And indeed, the deep affirmation, fierce acceptance, and magical love of all beings is dangerous. It threatens seats of power and privilege. It threatens governments and financial institutions and borders and all the lines that we draw between us out of fear and prejudice. Our first principle, if you really mean it, if you truly take it seriously, it changes everything. A previous congregant once told me she thought the first principle was both the hardest and the most important. And I think she was right. It is radical, dangerous, and so vital to changing this world. Too easily and too often, we create communities like ourselves. We hold close resources, we save our energy for our people, we circle the wagons around us. But what we're called to, what our values demand, is a shift outward toward the wide world and all of its manifold beings. We are called to see and embrace and love and support and encourage and celebrate the diversity of all creation. Our work is to help that caterpillar get whatever food it needs to become the butterfly or moth that it is meant to be. Our work is to give each other jewels to make our mermaid outfits that much more sparkly and spectacular. Our work is to find ourselves and honor each other and share in the beauty of this life.
Wherever you are, hopefully you have a picture of a flower or an actual flower or a picture of a butterfly or moth or caterpillar that you can share with us. I'm going to invite you now to put your flower in front of your camera so that we can see it. After we bless our images and each other, we will have some music during which we will spotlight your flowers so you can celebrate each other. So go ahead and get those flowers ready. Whenever Norbert Čapek led this ritual in Prague, he would consecrate the flowers. Today, we will bless with words adapted from Čapek our abundance of varied colors, shapes, sizes, and scents that together make one gorgeous image.
Infinite Spirit of life, Spirit of peace, Spirit of love, we ask a blessing on these messengers of fellowship and love.
May they remind us of the beauty of the earth, of the capacity for the cold and the dark to transform into the warmth and light of what is possible in this glorious life.
May they remind us to rejoice in our diversities of being, of knowledge, and of gifts, but also may they remind us to be one in our desire for justice and in our affection for each other and life.
And may they remind us of the value of friendship, of doing and sharing alike as we continue our journey of searching and learning.
May we not let awareness of another's talents discourage us or sully our relationship, but may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do the work of love and justice in this world.
May the flowers we brought and the beauty we have made remind us that we are part of communities larger than ourselves, that we can commit ourselves to the common good so that we all might thrive in a more joyful, just, and loving world.
May it be so. Thank you for sharing beauty with us this morning. Thank you for sharing yourselves with us in community. Thank you for offering each other fierce acceptance. Thank you for offering each other safety in wholeness. Thank you for taking a piece of us wherever you go. Thank you for giving the world your radical love. It is in sharing, offering, taking, and giving that we can change the world. I want to invite you to take the drawing you made or the flower that you have and give it away to a member of this community, to a beloved friend or family member, to a stranger, in the spirit of the flower celebration that builds community. Share the beauty that you have created.
Please join us in singing our hymn, number 64, "Oh, Give Us Pleasure in the Flowers Today." Oh, give us pleasure in the flowers today, and give us not to think so far away, as the uncertain harvest keep us here, all simply in the spring of the year. Oh, give us pleasure in the orchard wide, like nothing else by day, like ghosts by night, and make us happy in the happy bees, the swarm dilating round the perfect trees, and make us happy in the darting bird that suddenly above the bees is heard, the waiter that thrusts in with needle bill, and of a blossom in mid-air stands still. For this is love, and nothing else is love, the which it is reserved for God above, to sanctify to what for ends He will, but which it only needs that we fulfill. Please join us in the words for extinguishing the chalice. They can be found on your screen. We extinguish the flame, but may the light of truth, the warmth of love, and the energy of action burn bright in our hearts until we are together again.
I have invited Korma to give our benediction words this morning from a blessing written by the UU minister, Robert S. Gilbert.
May the blessing of the flowers be upon you. May their beauty beckon you each morning, and their loveliness lure you each day, and their tenderness caress you each night. May their delicate petals make you gentle, and their eyes make you aware. May their stems make you sturdy, and their reaching make you care.
Thank you all for being with us this morning. I'm going to unmute you so you can thank Korma for joining us this morning as well. All right, you should be able to unmute yourselves.